We're ready for two big football games Labor Day weekend in Mercedes-Benz Stadium, UGA, Oregon on Saturday, Georgia Tech, Clemson on Monday, both part of this year's Chick-fil-A kickoff. Joining me is the CEO of the Peach Bowl Incorporated, Gary Stokan. Thanks for coming by, man. Obviously a huge weekend upcoming. It's exciting that it must just finally be here, right?
It really is. This is a great time of the year. You know, we're going to kick off the college football season in Atlanta with two meaningful games. We're going to start the ACC season on Monday night. It's kind of the dessert. After everybody's had their reunions, their picnics, whatever, on Monday, you're getting ready to go back to work, and you got 8 o'clock, you got Clemson and Georgia Tech. And on Saturday, to open the season, we got Georgia, Oregon, two top 10 teams. So really exciting time for us.
You got some really good teams that you have coming in. I'm curious, where does this pack of four kind of rank with other times that you've had this event go on?
Well, you know, it's a great point. We've got 3 of the 4 teams are ranked in the top 10. And then at the end of the season, in our Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl this year, we'll host the semifinal of the CFP, number 1 against number 4 and number 2 against number 3. So of the 3 games we've got, 5 of the 6 teams are going to be ranked in the top 10 in the country.
Now, Kirby Smart has been in this event a couple of times back in 2016. He comes back again this year as a national champion. I mean, what do you think it brings to be able to have a national championship team come into this game playing on a stage like this?
Well, we're very blessed. Last year, we had the defending national champ with Alabama against Miami to open up, 2 top 20 teams. This year, we got Georgia, number 3, again, defending champion. And ironically enough, Kirby Smart, his first game as a head coach in 2016 was against North Carolina in the Chick-fil-A kickoff game. And here Dan Lanning goes out to Oregon after leading Georgia as a defensive coordinator. His first game is in the Chick-fil-A kickoff game against Georgia and his friend Kirby Smart. So it's interesting storylines, along with Bo Nix, who quarterbacked Auburn a couple years.
Yep, there you go.
Could be the starting quarterback for Oregon playing against Georgia again.
I think it's really interesting, too, because when you, of course, scheduled this event all those years ago, it's crazy how it came together where coming off a national championship season, all the storylines, all the connections. I mean, did you anticipate that matchup to start would be, I guess, so connected, or were you just banking on the fact that it's going to be a long time before these teams actually play?
Oh, yeah, this was the plan from the beginning.
Yeah.
No. Better lucky than good, right?
Right.
Who knew Dan Lanning would be the coach and Mario Cristobal would be at Miami when we scheduled this? Who knew that Georgia would be the national champion? So better lucky than good. Each one of these games has its own story. It's like your own children. They're all different. It's kind of like Rubik's Cube, putting them together, but we fell into this one with Georgia, Oregon being 2 top 10 teams.
You also got a situation where you've got both Georgia and Georgia Tech both playing this upcoming weekend, 2 local teams. How hard was that to put together?
Well, I give credit to Todd Stansbury of Georgia Tech on the Clemson game, because we met with the ACC and said, when it makes sense, since they own the exclusive TV slot on Monday night at 8 o'clock with ESPN, when it makes sense, we'll like to do a game on Monday night, but the teams have to be close by to buy the tickets because people have to go to work on Tuesday. And so they worked with us, Georgia Tech, ACC, Mercedes-Benz. We all worked together to put the opening, which we've never done before, the opening of the ACC conference in Georgia Tech Clemson playing in the Chick-fil-A kickoff game. So give credit to Todd Stansbury for making that happen. Naturally,
when you've got 2 local teams like that, you're going to get, outside of the fact that they're good matchups, you're going to get a lot of fans that actually arrive because it's an easy trip. And for these fans, what can some of the things that they can expect outside of the actual game that they can kind of experience heading into this weekend?
Well, 4 hours before the game, we're going to have our Tailgate Town in International Plaza right next to Mercedes-Benz, presented by PNC. All kind of sponsor activation, food, music. We'll have TVs on Saturday for the games preceding us. And then actually 2 hours before the game on Saturday, Georgia, Oregon will pull their buses up, and led by their mascot and their cheerleaders, they'll actually walk through the crowd into Mercedes-Benz Stadium and do their team walks. And then on Monday, we'll do the same thing. 4 hours before, Tailgate Town presented by PNC in International Plaza for Georgia Tech Clemson. And then the teams 2 hours before will do their team walks into Mercedes-Benz Stadium. So it's a great opportunity for people to interact with the teams, and similar to what they do at home when they do their team walks. That's what we want to create. So I'm all excited because we're 3 days out, 4 days out, and getting ready to kick off.
Since it's the kickoff event, it is the marquee event that everybody watches in college football on the first weekend of the year. Do you take extra pride in knowing that you get these teams and maybe not extra pressure, but do you enjoy just the thrill of the fact that you get this moment to really showcase what this event really is?
Yeah, it's a great point. And a lot of people in the media have called us the capital of college football because we have these two big games at the beginning of the season. We're now part of the New Year's Six for the last 7 years, and we'll host the semifinal at the end of the year with number 1 against 4 or 2 against 3. So, and then having a College Football Hall of Fame here. And these 3 events will produce over $100 million of economic impact, which translates to about $6 million going into the city coffer. So big for the city, big for our hospitality industry, and big for college football.
I'm also curious, you mentioned just all the things that make Atlanta special. They're going to have the national championship here again in 2025. I mean, what do you think it is about Atlanta that makes it such a hub and a great location for college football to really shine on a big stage like this?
Well, having been president of Atlanta Sports Council, where we used to make those kind of bids, it takes a team to do it. So between the Atlanta Sports Council, the Convention Visitors Bureau, Mercedes-Benz Stadium, the Congress Center and the state, the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl, all of us get together and make sure that we, number one, provide a first-class experience and a fan-friendly experience for the fans and the teams. But our city is just built between having 15,000 hotel rooms downtown, a lot of them in walking distance, Mercedes-Benz Stadium, having Mercedes-Benz Stadium, which I think is the best stadium in the world, give Arthur Blank all the credit in the world, the airport, where you have hourly flights from Boston, New York, Chicago, LA. People can get here. And then our interstate system, people can drive here rather easily as well. So we're just built to host big time events. And then lastly, you put on top of it the people. We genuinely enjoy giving Southern hospitality and hosting people. And so the volunteers and the staffs make all the difference in the world.
I guess my final question for you now is Chick-fil-A. You're going to have the playoff game this year on New Year's Eve. I guess the question is, how does the preparation change, and what is the preparation going for a game like that it's going to be a big stage, but you also don't know what the teams are going to be at this point? What are you kind of doing right now to prepare for that, prepare the city and prepare the moment for that?
Well, again, my staff, credit to them, we've sold out the event already. So that's one thing we can tick off. Number two is we'll have the teams in for all week. So for a Chick-fil-A kickoff game, the teams come in the night before, they have their meetings, and they play the next day. For the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl, they're here for 6-7 days.
All right.
And so we have all kind of activities. We use the theme live, laugh, and learn. We want them to live great, stay in great hotels, get great gifts, travel first class, and eat Chick-fil-A food. We want them to laugh, so we created a Battle for Bowl Week 40-pound WWE belt that they compete for every night in some kind of competition. And then lastly, we want them to learn. So we take them to the College Football Hall of Fame because we want somebody in there to be inducted in that Hall of Fame 10, 15 years from now. We take them to Children's Healthcare so they can interact with kids that may not get out of that hospital ever. And then thirdly, we take them to Ebenezer Baptist Church, which you're not supposed to put both teams together, but we sit them next to each other in the pews. And we've had Congressman Lewis, C.T. Vivian, who unfortunately both passed away this past year. But this year we'll have Andy Young, who has spoken to the teams before, and Bill Curry speak to the teams from the pulpit of Ebenezer Baptist Church, which is a really great learning experience. It's a history lesson for these kids who weren't even born during the Civil Rights Movement. So it really gives them a chance to learn things, as well as going to Children's Healthcare to learn about giving back. So it's a great week. 2 days before, we can't do anything with them because the coaches want them focused on meetings, video, preparation, because if they win, they go to the national championship game in LA this year. So that's kind of our bowl week, that live, laugh, and learn with all the teams.
Man, that is fantastic. A first-class event led by a first-class man. Gary, thank you so much for coming, man. I really appreciate it. The president and CEO of the Chick-fil-A Bowl Association.